Mr. Behana.
Yes, and the Spanish interpreter is on the line, Your Honor.
Very much.
And that's the Attorney General case, Your Honor. So they're here.
Thank you so much. Abdi, No.
Hello?
Hello.
Please ask all the participants in the Teams channel to mute themselves until it's time for them to speak. All right. Okay. All right, we'll start with Mr. Behana's case. And obviously, Spanish interpreter, please unmute. All right. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Buenas tardes, por favor, me dice su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento.
Mario Bejarano, 8777.
Mario Bejarano, August 7th of 77.
Thank you, sir. Time set for initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on 2 felony complaints. And I'll go through each one of those with you.
Gracias, está aquí para la comparecencia inicial y está por 2 delitos graves, 2 demandas y ya se las voy a decir.
First complaint alleges several counts of organized retail theft, trafficking and stolen property, and fraud schemes and artifices.
Bueno, en el primer delito grave se alega que ha realizado crimen organizado de robo de tiendas, tráfico en propiedad robada y fraude y artificio.
The second complaint alleges possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Y el segundo delito alega posesión de droga peligrosa, posesión de una droga narcótica y posesión de artículos de drogas.
Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Tiene derecho a permanecer en silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga puede ser usada en su contra.
You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Y tiene derecho a un abogado. Voy a nombrar a la Defensoría Pública del Condado de Pima para que lo represente.
The attorney seated to your left is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please speak with him before saying anything out loud.
Y el abogado que está sentado a su izquierda estaba para asistirle en la audiencia del día de hoy. Y si tiene preguntas o alguna preocupación, por favor hable con él antes de decir cualquier cosa en voz alta.
Reviewed both interim complaints as well as the pretrial services report and the state's
Ya
recommendation.
Ya revisé las dos quejas interinas, también las recomendaciones previas al juicio, el informe previo al juicio y las recomendaciones de la fiscalía.
I will note at least on the second complaint, the second complaint alleging dangerous drug possession, that Mr. Bejarano is steps court, or was deemed steps court's diversion eligible.
En cuanto a la segunda de queja de delito por la posesión de una droga peligrosa, se recomienda el programa de alternativo de STEPS.
Do you notice PSR and NCA scores?
Están las calificaciones del informe previo al juicio y también MCA de NCA.
The criminal history report, and do note there's no other statuses or holds for Mr. Bejarano.
También está el informe de antecedentes penales y el estatus de que no tiene actualmente ninguna orden de retención el señor Bejarano.
State's recommendation is $25,000 bond plus pretrial services.
Your Honor, if I may be heard, I'm Jocelyn Tezamato for Matt McCrae for the Attorney General's office. I believe the recommendation was $60,000.
Oh, my apologies, $60,000 plus pretrial services. And
Bueno, entonces,
go ahead.
la fiscal acaba de hacer una corrección, que la recomendación de la fiscalía son de $60,000, lo acaba entonces de confirmar y ratificar el juez, $60,000 de fianza.
Do you have anything else to add?
And Your Honor, I believe that on the second interim complaint that he was arrested for the drugs, I believe the Attorney General's office is also going to be reviewing that, and so he is not STEPS eligible.
Y su señoría le dice la fiscal que con respecto a la segunda queja interina, con respecto a la denuncia o el delito de drogas, dice que todavía la fiscalía indica que no tiene derecho o no cumple los requisitos aún para el programa de STEPS.
And given that there are over 90 incidents of organized retail theft alleged with a value of almost $60,000, we do believe that the bond requested is appropriate.
Thank you.
Y debido a que los incidentes para droga organizado de tiendas es de 90 incidentes con un valor de $60,000 en robos, consideramos que el valor de la fianza es indicada.
Couple of things, Judge. As the court's already noted, we've got, and I don't know how much else I can add over what we already have. The pretrial service report is pretty clear on this.
Bueno, está hablando del abogado defensor con respecto a que no saben o realmente queda más añadir con respecto a los delitos, ya que es muy claro el informe que se proporcionó por parte de los servicios previos al juicio.
This is a non-violent offense. He's level 1. He's got low PSA scores.
Y es un delito que no es violento, está en el nivel 1 de riesgo, bajos calificaciones o en cuanto a PSA.
And he has no history.
Y no tiene antecedentes penales, no hay historia de antecedentes penales.
And I'll remind the court, obviously, the purpose of pretrial detention is to protect the community, one, and second, to ensure it's for court. Given he has no criminal history, there's no failure to appear, no worries about him absconding. So I don't think any of us are concerned about that.
Bueno, y le recuerdo al juez que el propósito es de las fianzas son precisamente para que quede detenido la persona que te pueda hacer para proteger la comunidad o porque pueda tener riesgo de no comparecer, y dado a que no existen antecedentes penales y tampoco hay faltas de comparecencia o puede haber temor de que pueda huir o esconderse, no lo ve necesario.
And we have, based off the state's presentation right now, also just reading the data, the entire basis for the, quite frankly, very high bond for non-eligible and no failure with no risk of absconding is the potential risk of him reoffending.
Bueno, entonces, dado a lo que presenta la Fiscalía y lo que leí con respecto a las recomendaciones y todas las bases de que se esté colocando una fianza en un valor tan elevado cuando no existe o no es un delito violento, ni hay riesgo de falta de comparecencia o de volver a cometer un delito.
Obviously, we can test the initial offenses, but I'll note the pretrial services has plenty of things to keep them on track. We have additional laws that will hammer him more if he reoffends, if he gets out. He's going to be under court supervision and restriction.
Y bueno, y si existe también información con respecto a lo que son las indicaciones de que vuelva a cometer otro delito, está el hecho de que los servicios previos al juicio van a mantener un registro, lo van a estar observando también, de que hay unas leyes vigentes que se estarían haciéndole cumplir en caso de que vaya a reofender o cometer otro delito. Hay leyes vigentes para evitar que eso sea así.
So given all that, given his complete lack of criminal history, I don't think that is anywhere near high enough of concern to justify $60,000 bond.
Y debido a todo eso y por su falta de antecedentes penales, no creo que sea ni siquiera justificable o cercano a que se justifique a una fianza tan elevada de $60,000.
So we would ask for release to pretrial services, and if the court is inclined to impose bond, that's for something far more reasonable, considering these are all essentially, and I don't mean to bemoan the privilege of Lowe's and Home Depot to operate their business, but these are not shoplifting offenses.
Bueno, por esa razón, pido que sea liberado los servicios previos al juicio o en tal caso que se fije una fianza mucho más razonable sin desestimar los privilegios que tiene Home Depot en operar su negocio, pero esto fue una ofensa o un delito de robo de tienda que no fue violento.
Thank you. Just to clarify with the Attorney General's office, there is a single booking number, but with the two separate interim complaints, was this going to be assigned or were they requesting two separate cases or one case with both complaints consolidated?
Your Honor, I would be fine with consolidate. Oh, sorry.
Y la pregunta va para a los que han fichado los delitos están marcados con dos delitos separados en un solo queja interina y quiero preguntar si va a ser dos casos separados o se van a consolidar como dos en uno.
Your Honor, we would request that it would be one case with the two interim complaints consolidated. Did not know until recently that they were two separate interims.
Y le pedimos, su señoría, que sea un solo caso con dos casos interinos, con quejas interinas consolidadas. Hasta ahorita no me había enterado que eran dos separadas, pero se pide consolidarlas en un solo caso.
Thank you. Then I'm going to, I think they're both separated out here, so I'll amend my order here. I'll set bond for Mr. Berano on the one complaint involving retail theft at $20,000 cash or secured with pretrial services monitoring and supervision.
Entonces voy a colocar que sean una queja interina y le voy a indicar con respecto al caso después de la primera caja interina, los $20,000 de fianza, ya sea en efectivo con garantía, y si es liberado va a ser bajo la supervisión de monitoreo de los servicios previos al juicio.
In order that Mr. Bejarano not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs and not have any contact with any alleged victim, to include going to any alleged incident location.
Entonces ordena que el señor Bejarano no puede poseer ni consumir ningún tipo de alcohol ni de drogas, ni tampoco tener contacto con las presuntas víctimas, y se ordena que no regrese al lugar del incidente.
And further order that he not enter any Lowe's or Home Depot hardware store in Pima County.
Y también se ordena que no puede entrar a ninguna tienda de Lowe's o de Home Depot en el condado de Pima.
Preliminary hearing will be August the 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
La audiencia preliminar va a ser el 25 de agosto a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Okay.
And let me just actually make sure. Okay, it was all consolidated into the one already. All right, that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Ya quedó todo consolidado en un solo caso y es todo, señor. Ya puede retirarse.
Your Honor, may I
Yeah.
also be excused?
Hold on,
Yes,
he has a question. 1 second, Your Honor, before we excuse the interpreter, he has a question.
Otra de las cortes que no puede ser.
I'm sorry, interpreter, couldn't hear the question.
Say that again.
Otra de las cortes, okay, yo lo que voy a hacer es pagar la fianza. Okay. Yo lo que voy a hacer.
Es que no le escucho. La fianza, ¿y qué fue lo que dijo antes?
Si voy a pagar la fianza o voy a tener corte,
Okay, so I have to pay the bond or I'm going to have a court date?
Sir, I am setting a bond. If you wish to be released, you'll have to satisfy that bond. And I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. So if you do post a bond, you'll be under pretrial services supervision.
Señor, usted si paga la fianza, se va a dejar en libertad una vez usted cumpla con el pago de la fianza. Y si paga la fianza, va a salir bajo los servicios previos al juicio bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio.
And your next hearing will be on August 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Y su próxima audiencia va a ser el 25 de agosto a la 1:30 de la tarde.
And Judge, can we also get clarification from the bond is cash or secure?
Yes.
Y le pedí que se aclare si la fianza va a ser en efectivo con garantía. Dice que sí, el juez.
And that's all I have for you, sir. If you do have more questions, you certainly can raise them with your attorney, either after you conclude here or with your assigned attorney once they reach out to you. But that's all I have for you tonight, sir. Thank you.
Y pues, señor, si tiene más preguntas, la puede hacer con su abogado ahora o cuando concluyamos con esta audiencia. Y si no, más adelante puede tener la comunicación con el abogado asignado a usted, pero eso es todo lo que tengo por hoy para usted. Gracias.
And I'll likewise dismiss the Assistant Attorney General.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good night.
Thank
Se puede retirar la auxiliar del fiscal general. Your Honor, this is the Spanish interpreter. Would it be okay to confirm if there's additional Spanish speakers?
Just about to do that. Joe, confirm we don't have any other Spanish speakers this evening. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, then Spanish interpreters excused. Thank you very much for assisting us.
You're welcome. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good evening. Interpreter will now disconnect.
All right. Well, yeah, let me confirm with them. Do we have the CART interpreter on?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. My sincerest apologies for the technical problems.
No problem. We're working through it. I appreciate you sticking around. Joe, confirm, do we have the transcript on screen that the defendant can view?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Give me 1 second. And just to confirm with CART interpreter, you don't, I don't need to be viewing anything. You'll be transcribing my speech for the defendant. Is that right?
That's correct. But
great.
I do believe Jay Marietta put it up on the Teams as well, if anybody wants to view.
That's okay. I'll put my faith in it. Don't want to cause any more technical glitches. All right. Ma'am, can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
1991. Flores.
Ms. Flores, you're here tonight on initial appearance related to a charge of criminal trespassing. To remind you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Okay.
And let me just confirm. Oh, you also appear to have another case. You just give me 1 second so I can find your file.
Okay.
In addition, you also have a case in the Tucson City Court relating to charges of or remaining upon traffic median, criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, and general soliciting.
What?
On your first matter, the justice courts. Just take a look, see if there was an amount listed. All right. On the justice court matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on August the 25th at 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Robert Foreman at the Pima County Justice Court.
Okay.
Now, you, if I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Okay.
And can you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Okay. Yeah. I promise.
Then I will release
Yeah.
you. I will release you on your promise that you will appear at that hearing. And I'm going to order that you not return to whatever location where this trespass allegedly occurred.
Okay.
On your city court matter, I'm going to set your hearing for September 17th at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Mayhew
Oh, okay.
at the city court.
Okay.
And I'll likewise release you on that case if you promise me you will appear at that hearing on the 17th.
Okay. All right.
All right, then I will release you on your promise you'll appear. Please make sure and attend all hearings in your case. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the warrant can issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. That's all I have for you. Thank you. You're excused.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Court interpreter, may I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you very much again for your assistance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good evening. Good night.
Your Honor, who would you like to see next?
Let's get right back on the list with Mr. Upchurch, please.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Elmer Glenn Upchurch, 6/13/85.
All right, Mr. Upchurch, good evening. You're being seen here this evening based on a criminal complaint that was filed by the Marana Police Department alleging charge of misdemeanor theft that occurred earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. And I believe, sir, you're also being held on a separate matter in the Superior Court. That matter is not before me this evening, so I'm just going to be dealing with your Marana case that I just mentioned.
Okay.
On that, I'm going to set a hearing for you on September 17th at 10 a.m. And that'll be at the Marana City Court up on Civic Center Drive. I will note on the minute entry that you are being held on a separate felony matter, just so that the court is aware of it. And just in case you are still in custody. If you are released from custody on that separate matter, I will likewise release you on this case, provided that you can promise me you will appear at your hearing and that you will not have any contact with any alleged victim in the case, to include going to where they work or live. Can you promise me that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sir. And that's all I have for you this evening. You're excused.
Hey, Tim, Dorsey.
In jail, did Noah Abdi refuse again?
I'm sorry? Hope you refused again? Is that correct?
No.
Okay. All right. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yes, Your Honor. Noah Allen Hovde, November 25th, 1995.
All right, Mr. Abdi, this time set for your initial appearance. You are being seen. Excuse me one second. on an interim felony complaint alleging felony tampering with a witness. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. I've reviewed the interim complaint as well. Pretrial services did note that Mr. Abdi appears to be on release in a separate felony, several separate felony cases. You know his PSR, or I'm sorry, his NCA and FTA scale scores, as well as his felony criminal history, which includes at least 3 other prior adjudicated, and looks like at least 2 of them that are pending. State's recommendation was $250,000 with pretrial services in lieu of no bond. Anything else add from the state?
Your Honor, I would just like to kind of clarify why it would be in lieu of no bond. This occurred while he was in custody, held in custody on 2 out of the 5 cases.
Yeah.
But per Article 2, Section 22 of the Constitution just requires that he be admitted to bail on a separate case.
Mhm.
And I believe he is technically on release or admitted to bail on, I believe, the first 3 cases that are pending sentencing. What's very concerning is he's notified on the phone when making these calls. Everything's being recorded. And he's speaking to the victim that he severely beat and put in the hospital for 6 days. She was in there, basically telling her to change her story about some other guy beating
Sorry,
her up.
you mean allegedly, right?
Okay, everything's
Please, sir,
recorded.
remain quiet while the state's speaking. Your attorney will have a chance to address me without interruption. Sorry, sir, go right ahead.
So Judge, basically on a jail recorded call telling her to change her story about some other guy doing it, and that she would be able to, sue the police again for the $1 million and live nicely. And you'll see the number of cases that he's posted bond on, one of them being out of county. He might report to pretrial. He has modest means, but the state's understanding is that him and his family have significant financial means. So that's why the state's requesting the sizable bond that it is. Again, a total of 5 pending cases, as well as the court noted, some of them being adjudicated pending sentencing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Defense? You are muted right now.
Judge, I'll note a couple of things. First off, as Mr. Abdi pointed out, these are currently allegations. Also, Peter, I don't have an interim. Did it get uploaded separately?
He refused from this morning.
Gotcha.
And it was continued, but I basically copy and pasted a majority of the facts into the bottom part of my recommendation.
Okay, let me look at just to appreciate it.
I'd like to note for the record, I didn't refuse. I told them I was sick. I had a stomach bug and was throwing up.
And Jeremy, I'll forward you the actual interim right now. Do you have access to your email?
I do.
I'll forward it to you right now.
Okay, I appreciate it. Oh, I got it print out right here. Okay. So, a couple of things, Your Honor. As I already noted, these are allegations at this point. Ultimately, I don't. So the state's point about his family having substantial financial resources, if they did, he would have been bonded out already. He's already been in on a $10,000 bond. He's already pending sentencing. Obviously, if the judge in that sentencing deems that these are serious reoffenses and he's a continued threat, then there's in prison on it too. So there are plenty of reasons to believe that, given this current $10,000 bond in his current case and even pending sentencing in this case, he's not going anywhere in his current cases. To ratchet this up to 250,000, and as Mr. Goodman pointed out, that is a high bond. I understand the argument the state is making. I mean, 250,000 for what essentially, if we take the state at their word, which we're obviously not, would be nothing more than phone calls. It doesn't look like, from what I can tell in any of this, it doesn't look like there's any allegation of threats. It's kind of trying to tempt and bribery and trying to convince, which, while if that is true, they qualify as witness tampering. It certainly isn't the time to ratchet the bond.
I'd also like to note, I'm willing to say this on the record. What I stated to her was just to tell the truth to my attorney. That's all I said.
And I'm going to leave it at that. I would ask for a much lower bond, somewhere more than what he already has, 10,000. Given that it would have to be consecutive at this point, because it's a second matter still in justice court. It's not the overall matter that it's being held to 20. So that's what happened to this case.
Okay. Thank you. Given that, actually, I did fail to note that there was a prior history of failing to appear and warrants being issued in one prior felony case from 2024. Given that the state's entitlement to be to a no bond hearing certainly could change the recommendation, but I'm going to give credence to that, and I'll order the $250,000 bond be cash or secured, and schedule the preliminary hearing for August the 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And I'm going to order Mr. Abdi that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to their work or residence. That's all I have, sir. Thank you. Your excuse.
Wait, so I can't talk to my girlfriend on the phone?
No, sir. You have no. I'm ordering that you not have any contact with them.
Okay. Could I confer with the attorney after for a minute?
Yeah, that's up to him. But
Yeah, that's fine, Judge. Is the court done?
yes, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Okay, if we can, let me mute.
Go right ahead. All right. He shouldn't put him. Is this? Oh, I was sending you that. Yes, please. Unless you want to push back to me. All right. Excuse me, sir, can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Robert Alegria, 22177.
Okay. All right, sir. Good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on a couple of different matters. We'll talk about them in turn. Here to have a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Mary Lou Natividad in the South Tucson City Court. And this relates to a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia from April of this year. To remind you, do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. And, oh, I'm sorry, the second page was just a copy of it. So we're just talking about the one matter. And it doesn't look like you're being held on anything else. So, Mr. Alegre, I'm going to schedule a hearing for you in South Tucson, and that's going to be for August the 26th at 10 a.m. Now, if I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing, sir?
Yes, sir.
Then I will release you on that promise, and I'm gonna, again, set that hearing. I'm gonna just order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes, thank you.
All right. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend your court hearings, otherwise. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Plus Arzate 42581.
Arzate, this is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on, looks like 3 different matters. The first relate to 2 warrants that were issued by Judge Vince Roberts and Judge Victoria Steele in the Pima County Justice Court. And these relate to charges of criminal trespass in the 2nd degree, shoplifting, possession of drug paraphernalia, and failing to appear. And then the last matter is a city court case alleging misdemeanor domestic violence assault and misdemeanor domestic violence disorderly conduct. I remind you, you are presumed innocent, and you have a right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court, depending on your circumstances, or you may obtain one at your own expense. Let me just take a look at some information that was gathered by pretrial services. And it's gonna be a better idea of your case and what, if any, release conditions should apply to it. Okay. All right, I'll take care of the city court matter first, since those are the new charges. I'm going to set a hearing for you in front of Judge Wendy Millian at the Tucson City Court. And that hearing will be on September 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to order, well, first of all, if I release you from custody this evening, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing on the 23rd?
Yeah, I will.
Then I'll release you on your promise, but I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Do you live with the alleged victim?
Mm-mm.
You're good. So please avoid any contact with them until told otherwise by Judge Millian or another judge. Moving on to your justice court matters. I'm going to schedule hearings for those for August the 25th at 8:30 in the morning at the Justice Court downtown. Do you know where that is?
Yeah,
Now, will you promise me that you will appear if I release you at that hearing on the 25th?
yes, I will.
Then I'll release you on that promise. I'm likewise going to order that you not have any contact with any alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. All right.
Mm.
Just finish with the other case. All right. All right, ma'am. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend your hearings on August 25th and September 23rd at the two respective courts. Otherwise, if you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest, or those hearings could go forward in your absence, okay? That's all I have for you, ma'am. Thank you. You're excused. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Teresa Ibarra Benitez, 5/13/74.
All right, Ms. Benitez, good evening. It's time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on a complaint alleging two misdemeanor counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct that allegedly occurred earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. Let me just take a look. I don't believe you're being held on any other matter. All right. I'm just going to take a look for a second at some information about your case from pretrial services. Okay. It looks like pretrial services wasn't able to reach the alleged victim in this case. The alleged victims, I should say. Okay. All right, Ms. Benitez, I'm going to set a hearing for you for an arraignment on August 25th at 10:30 in the morning, and that's going to be at the Pima County Justice Court. If I release you, can you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, sir.
I'll release you on your promise to appear. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Now, am I correct that you reside with the alleged victims?
It's my son.
Then, unfortunately, without further input, I'm going to have to order for safety's sake that you can't go back to the residence. I will allow you to go back with the police escort to gather any personal belongings. If you need assistance finding an alternate housing in between now and your hearing on the 25th, there are resources just outside the jail, and they can help you find alternate temporary housing. But unfortunately, I don't have any input from the victim, so I cannot. I have to prioritize safety, both yours and the alleged victims. So for now, you're not going to be able to go back unless you have a police escort, and that's only going to be to gather your personal belongings. You understand that?
Yep.
Okay. You'll be released later this evening. Like I said, the jail can provide you with directions toward those resources for housing. Please make sure and show up at your hearing on the 25th. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And that's all I have for you, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yeah, my name is Josiah Jurgen, 6/23/2000.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gergen. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen on a warrant. It appears from the Agua Fria Justice Court in Tucson. This relates to a charge of shoplifting and failing to appear. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be held against you. Let me just check to see. It doesn't appear you're being held on any other matter.
No. Hold the hands out. Wait, sorry.
I guess speak to that.
Jurgen, I'm gonna set a hearing for you at the Justice Court in Polson for August 28th at 9 a.m. Now, I will
Okay.
release you and promise that you will appear at that hearing, and on promise that you will contact the Justice Court within 2 business days of being released. Can you do that, sir?
Yes, I can.
Then I'll release you on that promise. I'm gonna order or set that hearing, order you to contact the Justice Court. I'm also gonna order that you not have any contact of any kind with any alleged victim, to include going to where the alleged incident occurred. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yeah, Matthew John Colmer and 10385.
Thank you, Mr. Colmer. This is time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a couple of different matters, it looks like. One second. All right. First looks to be a post adjudication warrant out of the Justice Court, Pima County Justice Court, I should say. And this relates to, I believe, a DUI. And then the second matter being seen this evening on is a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct from earlier today, and that case is in the Tucson City Court. I want to remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. On the warrant matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on August the 29th at 10 a.m. And that's going to be at the the Pima County Justice Court. Do you know where that is?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll set that hearing in front of Judge Renee Garza. And I will release you on promise that you will appear at that hearing. Can you appear at that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Then you'll be released on that. Case, As far as your city court case, give me 1 second. I need to take a look for some information. Okay. Just taking a look at pretrial services report. I do believe we have the alleged victim on the line. Is that correct? Miss Pinnell?
Yes.
All right, Miss Pinnell, I see you're on. I believe you're muted.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can. Good evening, ma'am. This is, like I said, time set for the initial appearance. At the initial appearance, what I'm considering is whether or not Mr. Colmer is going to be released and under what conditions. I do see that you gave input to pretrial services regarding whether or not you wish to have further contact with him, as well as whether or not you object to his being released. I see here that you do want to have further contact and that you don't object to his release. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's actually a huge misunderstanding, and I'm not a victim by any means.
Okay, well, again,
He's the primary breadwinner for our family and for my elderly parents. He is a hard worker. We both are hard workers, and we just cannot afford for him to go to jail. And I promise you, he will be at those appearances.
thank you very much, ma'am. Is there anything, sorry, just to frame this, I'm not considering whether or not Mr. Palmer is guilty or innocent or anything else. All I'm deciding is on his conditions of release. So is there anything else on that you'd like me to consider?
We are safe. He is a very good man. I just want you to know he's a very good man, and we're safe.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you so much for all you do, sir.
All right, sir. Based on the alleged victim's input, as well as the other materials or information, I will order you released on promise that you will appear at the Tucson City Court in front of Judge Wendy Millian on September 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Can you do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'll release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. I'm not going to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. However, I do need you to understand that all interactions you have with her have to be peaceful, respectful, and lawful at all times. And if at any point she decides not to have any more contact with you, you need to terminate contact immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with that, sir, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all hearings in your cases. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
You're excused. And Ms. Pinnell, thank you very much for attending. You can go ahead and disconnect now unless you'd like to observe the rest of court. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yeah, it's Kyle James Kennedy, and it's 12/27/1990.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen on a warrant that was issued by Judge Erica Cornejo back last month, July 23rd. This relates to a charge, of disorderly conduct, as well as failing to appear. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Sure.
Doesn't appear being held on any other matter in this case. Let me just... All right. All right, so I'm gonna set a hearing for you, and that'll be on August 25th at 8:30 in the morning, and that'll be in front of Judge Renee Garza at the Pima County Justice Court.
Okay.
If I release you this evening, will you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, I promise.
Then I'll release you based on your promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not have any contact with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all your hearings. Otherwise, another warrant could issue for your arrest, and you can end up right back in custody. And that time, you may not be released without a significant bond. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You're excused.
Thanks, Mike.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Victor Gerardo Pereira, 9/26/1992.
Thanks, sir. Time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen on a warrant out of the Pima County Justice Court that was issued by Judge Robert Foreman. And this alleges one count of shoplifting, a misdemeanor count of shoplifting from May of this year. You also have a separate matter in the city court, and this relates to a warrant that was issued by Judge Jeffrey Close, and this also relates to a charge of shoplifting. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. Doesn't appear you're being held on any other matter. So, on the Justice Court matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you. And that'll be on September 2nd at 10 a.m. in front of Judge Robert Foreman. If I release you in that hearing, sir, or if I release you, will you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes.
So then I will release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not go back to wherever this incident allegedly occurred. And again, that hearing is going to be on September 2nd at 10 in the morning.
Okay.
On the city court matter, I'm going to set a separate hearing. That's going to be on September 17th. So a couple weeks after your Justice Court hearing. And that's going to be at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Cranshaw.
Okay.
Now, can you promise me you will appear at that hearing as well, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. The same conditions are going to apply. Do not go back to wherever this occurred. And do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, sir. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all your hearings. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest, or another warrant could issue for your arrest, and you can end up right back in custody. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Very much. Good luck. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Danielle Nicole Roas, 12/27/87.
Good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here based on two different matters. The first is a warrant that was issued by Pima County Justice Crystal Ann Foster. And this relates to a charge of theft, a misdemeanor theft from August of 2022. You also have a separate matter. This also has to do with a warrant for possession of drug paraphernalia in the Tucson City Court from, looks like late last month, July 17th. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. On your Justice Court matter, I'm going to set an arraignment hearing for you in front of Judge Robert Foreman. That will be on August 25th at 8:30 in the morning. If I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
Thank you. I'll release you on that promise, and I'm also going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. and that you not have any contact of any kind with any alleged victim, to include going to wherever this incident is alleged to have occurred. On your city court matter, I'm going to set a separate hearing for you on September 17th at 2:30 in front of Judge Mayhew at the Tucson City Court. Do you know where that is?
Yes, I do.
And can you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll release you on your promise. I'm in order again, you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And that's it. Please make sure and attend all your hearings. Otherwise, they could proceed in your absence, or a warrant could issue for your arrest, or both, okay? Thank you. You're excused. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Manuel Salceto, 9/20/88.
Thank you, Mr. Salcedo. You're being seen here this evening on, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, second. See, 5 warrants out of the South Tucson City Courts. And these involve charges of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree and possession of drug paraphernalia. They also have another case in the Tucson City Courts involving a separate warrant related to charges of resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. And the other warrants out of the the Pima County Justice Court relates again to a charge of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. Now, given the number of warrants that you have in the South Tucson City Court, sir, I'm a little concerned about your ability to attend. I think you may need some assistance. So I'm going to honor the bonds set in the case, or at least some of them. I'm going to set a cash bond of $600, and I'm going to appoint Mr. Michael Vaughn to represent you and set a hearing for you in South Tucson for Monday, August 18th at 10 a.m. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen likely over Teams, and hopefully Mr. Vaughn will have some time to review the matter and be able to assist you. If you do post the bond, I'm going to order that you not go back to any of the alleged incident locations, or that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. On the Justice Court case, I will note that you are going to be held on the other bond. I'm not going to hold you on the bond in that case, but I will set a separate hearing for you on August the 25th. So about a week after your first hearing. And that'll be in front of Judge Robert Foreman. The same conditions are going to apply. Do not go back to wherever the incident occurred, and do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And on the city court matter, I'll note again that you're going to be held on the South Tucson matter. I'll honor the bond in that case. $250 is requested in the warrant. I'm also going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And I'll set a video review hearing for you for August 27th in front of Judge Bond, and that'll be at 1:45 in the afternoon. So, sir, given all your cases, you're going to be held on some bonds. If you do post those, please make sure and abide by all the conditions of release I'm setting for you. And please make sure and attend all your hearings, otherwise another warrant could issue for your arrest. That's all I have for you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, stand up, go out the door. I will see you with the minutes.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Raul Martin Siqueiros, 8/14/75.
All right, thank you. So this time set for your initial appearance. Seen here on a complaint alleging 3 misdemeanor counts of domestic violence, criminal damage, and 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct allegedly occurring earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. I'm just taking a look here at some information about your case from pretrial services, so I can make a decision about conditions of release for you. Okay. Looks like pretrial services wasn't able to reach the alleged victim. But they were able to verify you have, I believe it's your sister, Teresa.
Yes.
He was able to verify, and she is willing to assume, allow you, I guess, to stay with her and assume third-party custody. So given that, and I don't believe you're being held on any other matter, I'm going to set an arraignment hearing date for you on August the 25th at 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Foster, and that's going to be at the Pima County Justice Court. Do you know where that is, sir?
Yes, sir.
Then you'll be seeing Judge Foster for your arraignment on the 25th. If I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, I will, Your Honor. Promise.
Thank you. Then I will release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Now, do you reside with the alleged victim, or did you previously reside with the alleged victim?
Yes. We live together.
All right, then, well, for now, you're going to have to find alternate housing. I believe your sister's.
Yeah, I'll be staying with my sister.
So she'll be assisting. I will, again, I don't have any input, so I'm going to order that you not have any contact with the alleged victim for now. That may change based on Judge Foster's consideration of your case, but I will allow you to return to the victim's home one time with a police escort to gather any personal belongings you may have there and want in the interim. So if you wish to go back to the victim's residence, you're going to have to call law enforcement. You can use 311, the non-emergency line. Arrange for there to be law enforcement with you at the residence while you're gathering your stuff, and then leave with them. You're not allowed to go back otherwise. You understand?
Yes.
All right, sir. And then with that, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all your hearings. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you.
Have a seat, Sam.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Bernadette Verdugo by 25/1987.
Thank you, Mr. Verdugo. This is time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on two matters. The first is a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Natividad in the South Tucson City Court. This relates to a charge of criminal trespass in the third degree from September of last year. And the second is a charge, a complaint alleging 2 counts of misdemeanor domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and criminal damage. And that's from earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court, depending on your circumstances, but you can also hire one at your own expense. Give me one moment so I can take a look at some information in your case from pretrial services. Okay. So pretrial services was able to reach the alleged victim, who indicated that he does not object to having further contact with you, or that object to you returning to the home, or obviously to your release from custody. So based on that, and I don't believe you're being held on anything else, on the South Tucson matter, I'm gonna schedule a hearing for you in the South Tucson City Court on August 26th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Now, if I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I'll release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not go back to wherever this incident allegedly occurred. And on the city court matter, based on the victim's input, I'm going to set a hearing for you in front of Judge Maldonado.
Okay.
And I'm going to set your hearing for September 15th at 2 p.m. Now, again, can you promise me you will appear at that hearing if I release you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll release you on that matter. I'm not going to order that you not have any contact with the alleged victim based on their input, but I am going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. And I also want to remind you that any interactions you have with the alleged victim need to be peaceful, respectful, and if they change their mind and don't want to have any contact with you, you need to leave them alone, okay?
Okay.
All right, so last thing, I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf to these charges and advise you that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty by the state, and that burden is to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to attend all hearings in your case, to include a trial where, again, you are presumed innocent and the burden of proving you guilty is on the state. However, if you fail to attend any hearings in this case, they may proceed in your absence. You could catch new charges, or a warrant could issue for your arrest or all three. Additionally, if you are found guilty at a bench trial and are unable to be sentenced because of your absence, you may lose the right to appeal that conviction. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
Okay. With that, I'll order you released. Please make sure and attend all your hearings. Otherwise, again, a warrant could issue for your arrest. That's all I have,
Thank you.
Ma'am. Thank you. Your excuse.
Thank you, sir.
Cigarette?
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Brad Gerald English, February 15th, 1982.
English? All right. Time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on a complaint alleging you refused to provide truthful name to law enforcement and that you were in possession of drug paraphernalia. These charges are from earlier today. I'll remind you, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be held against you. Let's make sure I don't. All right. It looks like you're being held on another matter in the Superior Court. The matter's not before me this evening, but so on the city court matter that I have in front of me, I'm gonna set a hearing for you. That's gonna be on October 16th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hale. I'll note that you're being held on the separate felony matter. And because of that, I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you in the city case. I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf of these charges. And I need to advise you that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to attend all hearings in this matter, to include a trial, where the burden of proving you guilty is on the state. However, if you fail to attend any hearings in this case, they could proceed in your absence. You could be charged with new offenses and/or a warrant could issue for your arrest. Additionally, if you're unable to be sentenced after being found guilty at a bench trial and are unable to be sentenced within 90 days, you could lose the right to appeal that conviction. Do you understand all that?
Yeah.
And with that, sir, you're going to be held on this matter, I'm sorry, a separate matter. If you are released, please make sure and attend all hearings. Otherwise, warrant could issue for your arrest. Thank you. You're excused.
Court Anthony?
All right, good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Mark Anthony Geroni, 2862.
All right, thank you, sir. Time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a misdemeanor, two misdemeanor charges, one alleging domestic violence assault, and the other alleging domestic violence disorderly conduct from earlier today. I remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court, or you may hire one at your own expense. Let me just double check something for pretrial services. All right, so it doesn't look like you're being held on anything else. Unfortunately, the victim input couldn't be secured. So I'm going to set a hearing for you on September 15th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Verena at the Tucson City Court. If I release you, sir, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm also going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and that you not have any contact with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Now, do you reside with the alleged victim?
He lived with me,
Sir.
my nephew.
Thank you, sir. For now, you're not going to be able to return to a home or to wherever the victim is living. If you need help finding alternate or temporary housing, there are resources the jail can point you to that are just outside of jail complex.
I'm taking care of my mother. She's in a wheelchair. I'm taking care of her there. That's why I was trying to get him to move out, because of his dogs.
Sir, well, unfortunately, I don't have any input on where he's currently located. So I'm simply ordering that you go to where he is living or working. So if he's remaining in the house, you're gonna have to find temporary housing outside, away from that residence until Judge Verena can review your case and potentially modify these conditions. For now, I'm simply ordering that you not have any contact with him of any kind. I'll also enter pleas on your behalf to these charges. I'm not guilty, and I need to advise you that you are presumed innocent, and that you do have a right to be presumed innocent until proven otherwise, and that burden is on the state to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You also have a right to attend all hearings in your case, to include a trial, where again you are presumed innocent and the state is charged with proving you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, if you fail to attend any hearings, to include a trial, they may proceed in your absence, in which case you may have a warrant issued for your arrest, new charges leveled against you, or they may proceed in your absence. If you are found guilty at a trial because you and are unable to be sentenced within 90 days because of your absence, you may lose the right to appeal a conviction. Do you understand all that, sir? All right, sir. And with that, that's all I have for you. You'll be released later this evening. Again, if you need resources, the jail can point them out for you. But otherwise, good luck, and that's all I have for you. You're excused.
Chris.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Bobby Lee McBeth Jr., March 7, 1997.
Thank you, Mr. McBeth. It's time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on charge of criminal trespass in third degree and possession of drug paraphernalia. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. All right. Also remind you do have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court based on your circumstances, or you may hire one at your own expense. It appears you have a hold. Joe, can you confirm Mr. McBeth has a hold on his case? Thank you. So, Mr. McBeth, based on your circumstances, I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing for you on October 16th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Cranshaw. I'm also proving not guilty on your behalf. I'll further advise you are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to attend all hearings in your case. And if you fail to attend any hearing to include a trial, they may proceed in your absence. A warrant could issue for your arrest or new charges could be filed against you. Additionally, if you're unable to be sentenced, if you're convicted and are unable to be sentenced within 90 days due to your own voluntary absence, then you may lose the right to to appeal that conviction. All right, sir. That's all I have for you. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
It's going to be Alejandro Mejia, September 9, 2005.
All right, Mr. Mejia, good evening. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You are being seen here this evening based on a misdemeanor complaint alleging 1 count of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and 4 counts of regular disorderly conduct. All misdemeanors allegedly occurring earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you based on your circumstances by the court, or you can certainly hire one at your own expense. Just need to take a look for a second at some information in your case from pretrial services.
Sounds good.
All right. It appears the alleged victim was reached. They do not wish to have further contact with you, do not welcome you back home, but do not object to your being released from custody. I don't believe you're being held on any other matter. So, sir, in your case, I'm going to set a hearing for you in front of Judge Wendy Million. That hearing is going to be on September 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon.
1 second, Judge. What was that again?
September 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Tucson City Court in front of Judge Wendy Million. And Mr. Mejia, if I release you, will you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, I promise.
And so based on the victim's input, I'm going to order that you not have any contact with them of any kind, and that you not go back to where they work or live. Now, did you reside with the alleged victim?
Yes.
Well, for now, you're going to have to find alternate housing.
Yes, I can go to my dad's.
Okay, great. If you need any resources, the jail can point you towards some that are just outside of the jail complex. But for now, you're not allowed to have any contact of any kind with the victim. And I'm also going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. All right, sir. That's all I have for you. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and keep all the paperwork, attend all your hearings. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest.
All righty. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused.
Ortega,
Did I miss something? Oh, the second one. Wait, hang on, what's this? Oh, that's my fault. Can you just, please, sorry. We'll be concurrent. Yeah, thanks. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Blanca Ortega, 10/31/86.
Name Ortega, you're being seen here this evening based on a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Jeffrey Close of the Tucson City Court. That relates to charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a prescription drug, theft, and failing to appear. And remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. It doesn't appear that you're being held on any other matter. So I'm going to set a hearing for you at the city court in front of Judge Behana.
Okay.
That'll be on September 22nd.
Okay,
2:30 in the afternoon. If I release you from custody, will you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
I promise.
And then I'll release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to their where they work or live.
Okay.
So ma'am, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all hearings. Otherwise, another warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're excused. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Alicia Alleg, 12/1/93.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. It's time to set your initial appearance. You're being seen here based on a warrant that was issued by Judge Jeffrey Close of the Tucson City Court. And that warrant relates to charges of misdemeanor domestic violence assault and misdemeanor domestic violence disorderly conduct. I remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. Let me see. You're not being held on any other matter. Let's take a look here. Okay. I'm going to set a hearing for you on September 25th at 9:30 in the morning at the city court in front of Judge Cranshaw. If I release you, will you promise me that you will appear at that hearing?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, then I'm going to release you on your promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. All right, ma'am, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend your hearings. Otherwise, another warrant could issue for your arrest. You can end up right back in custody, and that time you may not be released. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused.
Vote. Did you repeat?
See.
Hello, good morning, Your Honor.
Good evening. Can you please tell
Good
me,
morning.
can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
I'm Galvin, 10/11/1996. Forgive me off, Your Honor, my voice is really, it's almost shot out. I have like a summer flu. I feel really, under the weather right now. Forgive me.
Not a problem. And, or you don't need to say anything. In fact, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. So feel free to remain silent. All I'm going to talk to you about tonight is the conditions of release that are going to apply to your case. I've taken a look at some information from law enforcement. You're being seen here this evening based on two counts of misdemeanor indecent exposure allegedly occurring earlier today. To remind you again, you do have the right to remain silent. Doesn't appear you're being held on any other matter.
Your Honor, he does have a DOC hold.
I'm sorry, any other charges? I did note the DOC hold from the worksheet. So, Mr. Galvin, you're being, what that means is you're being held on a separate matter that's not before me this evening. But because you're being held, I'm likewise going to hold you on this case, and that will be on a bond of $500 so that you can receive time credit if appropriate in your case. I'm going to set a hearing for you on August 18th. So Monday, and that'll be at 1 p.m. And that's going to be in the Justice Court in front of Judge Robert Foreman.
Okay,
I'm also going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. That'll be Mr. Douglas Taylor. His phone number will be in the paperwork, the order from tonight's hearing. If you are somehow released, I'm going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with any alleged victim, to include going to their work or residence, and that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. One more thing. All right. So your hearing will be on the 18th. And hopefully Mr. Taylor will have a chance to review your case and
That's nice.
beforehand. But otherwise, you'll be seen by Judge Foreman on the 18th. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you for your excuse.
So am I being released today or am I being released on the 18th, sir?
You're not being released this evening. I don't know if you'll be released on a later date. Again, you do have a separate hold.
Okay, well, you guys have a good day. You know, so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Your excuse.
Yeah.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Martin Antonio Nino Jr.
And your date of birth, please?
04/03/1993.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, sir, this is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on charges of misdemeanor criminal trespass in the 3rd degree and indecent exposure allegedly occurring earlier today. Remind you, do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Yes, sir.
You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court or hired at your own expense. Just take a look. I believe you're being held on any other matter. So, sir, in your case, I'm going to set a hearing for you at the city court so that you can take care of these charges. That hearing will be on September 17th at 9 a.m. I'll be in front of Judge Hale. If I release you, sir, can you promise me you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I will release you on that promise. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not have any contact with the alleged victims, to include going to where this incident allegedly occurred.
Thank you.
And lastly, I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf to these charges, and remind you, you are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to attend all hearings in this case, as well as to have your case decided at a bench trial where the burden is on the state to prove you guilty. However,
Yes,
if you
sir.
fail to appear at any hearing to include that trial, those hearings in that trial may proceed in your absence. You may be charged with new offenses, or a warrant could issue for your arrest. Additionally, if you are convicted in your absence and are unable to be sentenced because of your absence, you may lose the right to appeal. You understand all that, sir?
I understand.
Then with that, that's all I have for you, sir. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend all your hearings.
I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. You're excused.
You too, sir.
Okay.
Good evening. Can you
Good
please tell me
evening.
your full name and date of birth?
Jessica Lynn Sigma, May 30th of 1995.
Thank you, Ms. Sigma. You're being seen here this evening based on 2 different matters.
Yes.
The first is a felony complaint alleging unlawful flight from law enforcement from August 8th. And the second is a misdemeanor complaint of domestic violence criminal damage from, that must be a typo. Oh, August 3rd. I'll remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney. And on your felony matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. Taking a look at the interim complaint, as well as pretrial services report, didn't note any other holds or statuses. Ms. Sigma was rated a 4 and a 4 on the NCAFTA scales. Third-party references unfortunately couldn't be reached. to verify ties to the community. Do note there were 2 prior felony matters from 2016. The other from 2023. It doesn't look that there was any history in failing to appear, failing to or absconding in either one of those cases. State's recommendation was for $10,000 with pretrial services. Anything to add from the state?
Your Honor, I would note in the first case with the DUI related matter that she was not successful on probation, as the court will see was terminated unsuccessfully. And then the more recent case was sent to Ash, it would appear, on a violent case. This case could have probably ended with a civil traffic violation, but she decided to flee at 115 miles an hour approximately, driving erratically on I-19 to elude law enforcement to the point they had to terminate it and catch up to her at a later point. So, she might not have some sort of prolonged, failure to appear history, but in looking at what documented criminal history she has, it's a little concerning, what occurred here, on I-19.
Thank you. Spence, if you need a moment to speak with the client, please feel free to do so.
I did, Your Honor. She's advised me of a few things.
Okay.
First off, the state's recitation of her criminal history is a very long way of saying she has no priors. She has a designated misdemeanor GEI. So there are no felony priors here. The Ash GEI obviously gives us a little bit of insight as to what her, at least what part of the issues going on. There's some mental health issues here. Given that she has no felony prior history, I do understand there may be some concern since her primary residence is with the victim, but I did confirm with her he does have alternative housing that is more than happy to provide. And she's indicated, looks like they were not able to contact her mother, but she's indicated that it was her understanding when this incident occurred that she was allowed her mother would be fine with her return at all. Obviously, we have no way of verifying that. He believes that they are watching the video, but the bottom line is this: we've got a history of some mental health issues, that's for sure. But she's completed her ASH term. She's was at least on some path to stability. This happened we deny the substance of the charges, but to the point that Mr. Goodman was making, there is some indication that she was not aware that there are police officers behind her at first. And while I do understand 150 miles an hour is a frankly dangerous amount of speed, it's also worth remembering this is on I-10. I don't mean to belittle it. I've seen people, not fleeing police, going over 100 miles an hour on that road. So it's not to belittle what's being charged here, but given her complete lack of prior history, given her housing, potential housing, and given the ultimately nonviolent nature of this crime, regardless of the concerns that the state would have or could have happened, we would ask for release to pretrial services.
Thank you. On the first felony matter, I'm gonna order Ms. Simca a bond of $2,500 cash is secured from her. And if bond is posted, that Ms. Sikma, you be released to the supervision of pretrial services and submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct. I'm gonna order the not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and the United set the preliminary hearing for August 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And on the misdemeanor matter, which is in the Salceto Municipal Court, on the Salceto matter, I'm gonna order a nominal bond of $50 for time credit purposes in case that is appropriate in her case. I'll note the felony hold, and I'm gonna appoint contract counsel, Mr. Brent Cicero. And I'll set a hearing for August 19th. Or hopefully that can be resolved prior to the preliminary hearing. All right, Ms. Sigma, without further input from the victim, I'm gonna have to err on the side of caution. I'm gonna order that you not have any contact or any kind with her, to include going to where she works or lives. I'm also going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. As I said, Mr. Cicero, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is assigned to your case. So hopefully he will be able to contact you, and you can ask for any modifications if that's appropriate. But for now, I have to.
Can we unmute it, please?
Judge, can we get clarification as
My
to-
mom's not a
Let
victim.
him speak. Let him speak.
Can we get clarification as to the list of victims?
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. The alleged victim is the defendant's boyfriend.
Okay.
Actually, give me just 1 second. I apologize. I believe Miss Sigma resides with the alleged victim. In which case, given the nature of the charge, criminal damage, I believe that would be Miss Sigma's mother. That would be the alleged victim here.
They're not pressing charges here.
Who is the listed alleged victim, Your Honor, if I can ask? Because I don't mean to be impatient with the court, but we've got somebody that has serious mental health issues. She needs to know if she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was correct the first time. It is the defendant's mother, Miss Albino or Albano.
That's the person I have out here.
My apologies. I misread the like the first. I read it correctly the first time, but then I was incorrect the second time. So the alleged victim is Miss.
Is that why people are letting me go home because I have somewhere else I could stay?
So you talk to your observation. Because you get into
The contact order is now applied to Miss Albano.
Time to sue.
I've talked to your foot about that. You about that.
Confidence. Do you think confidence?
Right. Miss Stickman, you're going to be held on the bonds in both cases. You're going to have attorneys representing you in both cases. Mr. Cicero and the public defender's office. I don't know who from the public defender's office will be assigned, but hopefully they'll be reaching out to you shortly. Please make sure and cooperate with them so that you can be up to date on the next stage. All right, ma'am. Thank you. That's all I have for you. Your excuse.
So I'm allowed to talk to my stepfather, but not my mother.
Your mother's the only one here.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Madison Faye Fimbres, and my birthday is 6/15/2005.
Thank you, Ms. Mendes. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on an interim complaint, excuse me, alleging a count of domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a weapon, alleged to have occurred earlier today. I'd remind you, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. I've taken a look at the interim complaint as well as the Form 4C that was provided for the alleged victim and the pretrial services report. You know, Ms. Fimbres doesn't have any holds or other statuses noted. She was rated a 2 and a 1 on the NCAA FTA scales. The victim couldn't be reached for comment about conditions of release, but community ties were identified through third party as well as alternate housing. It doesn't look like Ms. Fimbres has any prior felony or misdemeanor offenses. County Attorney's Office recommending $10,000 pretrial services. Anything else to add from the state?
Judge, and that was just primarily based on the nature of the offense of attacking the victim while he was asleep, getting cleaner in his eye, and then pulling a knife on said victim.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Defense.
Judge, I won't reiterate the things the court's already done over Latin criminal history to us, all that. All those things were very strong in favor as to sales scores. I assume based on Mr. Goodman's very brief presentation, it's literally just things. I want to point out, and first off, I'm flying a little blind here. I did not get the second page of the interim, nor did I get the Form 4, but I can fairly well infer what they say based off the PTS report. So I don't, not going to stop everything to either side. But bottom line is the punching him in the bed. Obviously, when we give the standard disclaimer that we deny all allegations, but if we take them at the state's word, the punching him in bed's a misdemeanor. That doesn't justify a $10,000 bond. That doesn't justify any. Getting cleaning fluid in his eye, it's not good, but she threw a bottle that happened to splash cleaning fluid in his eye. Again, it's a misdemeanor. The only thing here that even qualifies this as a felony is the her holding a knife. And again, even if we take on its face the allegations in here, there's no allegations that she ever attempted to use the knife. There's no allegations she really brandished the knife. She did make some threats. That's bad. I'm not going to pretend that threats of holding a knife didn't, put the victim into some state of fear. And that's definitely something I could see where the state is concerned about happening again. But ultimately, it's a Class 6 felony. It's a disorderly conduct involving a weapon. The state did note in their request that she's facing mandatory prison time if convicted. If they can prove a dangerous nature allegation, I don't think they can on these felonies, but let's assume that they can. This also likely is going to be a probation available plea. Given obviously, Mr. Goodman's the state are free to offer whatever they want, but historically, that's what we've been looking at here. So, with all that in mind, given that the vast majority of this conduct qualifies as a misdemeanor, there's absolutely no indication on her PTS report that she's a threat to the community or not to show up. And given the likely status for eventually being on probation, released to pretrial services is going to put her in the best position to go forward and to dispose of this case.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pimbres. I'm going to order you released to the supervision of pretrial services, and I'm going to order that you submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct. I'm further going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and that you not possess any firearms or weapons that you have in your possession, and that you surrender any firearms you have to law enforcement within 48 hours of being released. Most importantly, I'm going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Do you understand that? I'm sorry.
I didn't.
No, I don't believe you live with the alleged victim. Can you confirm? Do you live with him?
No, I live by myself.
And then that'll be easy enough. So please do not contact him in any way, shape, or form, either directly or third party, either in person or online over the phone. Do you understand all that?
Hold on 1 second. She had a question.
I'm the only person that watches my child anyways. No, just like he has hearing now. I don't want him to happen.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Your Honor, if we can mute for 1 second, she wants some advice on a tangential matter.
Go right ahead.
All right, we're good, Judge. Sorry.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Fimbres, your next hearing is going to be on September the 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon. There'll be a preliminary hearing at the Pima County Justice Court. Please make sure when you are released, you contact pretrial services immediately, as well as your attorneys, and stay in contact with both during the pendency of this case so you can understand what is coming up for you and what you need to be doing to prepare for that hearing. Do you understand?
Do.
All right. Above all else, do not miss any of your case. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up in custody. All right. All right. That's all I have for you, ma'am. Thank you. You're excused.
Do. Thank you.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Scott Edward Gorman, 32880.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gorman. It's time set for initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on an interim complaint alleging several felony matters. One is misconduct involving a weapon, being a prohibited possessor. Possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have questions or concerns, please speak with him before saying anything out loud, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Taking a look at the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. You note Mr. Gorman was rated as a 6 and a 4 on the scales. Did have a prior, 2 prior felony convictions, one from 1997 and the other from 1998. State's recommendation was for $10,000 plus pretrial services release. Anything to add from the state?
Yes, Judge. So I looked into his DOC history. He's got 2 second-degree murder priors, an attempted second-degree murder prior, burglary first prior. The highest sentence on at least out of those charges was actually the attempted second-degree murder, which was 21 years. He's the prime definition of somebody who should not be having a firearm, let alone using drugs while having a firearm. So that would be the basis for the state's recommendation, given his history. It looks like when looking up his DOC infractions, I'm seeing rioting, physical assault. So even while in prison, he continued, that violence while he was there.
Thanks, sir. Defense?
Judge, I don't have access to history, so I can respond to Mr. Judge on that part of it. I will note, yeah, he's got a bad slate of crimes he was convicted of. There was murders. I actually, when I saw his PTS history, saw that one of the sentences got commuted. I was curious, so I told him. It's because it was appealed and then sent back down, and then there was probably plea in the case that shortened his time a little bit. I think that's kind of how he ended up with the attempted the longest of his sentence. That being said, these all occurred when he was 17. He was a kid. Did something incredibly stupid, and then spent up until recently just spent his adult life in prison for it. He, like most people, emerged from prison with a drug problem, because it's funny how those two things kind of go hand in hand. It's been something that he's clearly been struggling and dealing with. That does not excuse the alleged possession of a firearm here, and Mr. Goodman is right. In the grand scheme of things, people with violent histories are not the people with firearms, but I don't know that he has a violent history. Again, I can't respond to what Mr. Goodman told from his DOC history, but we know he has one very violent issue from when, again, he was a juvenile from over 20 years ago, actually 30 years ago, essentially. He can't change that. There's nothing he can do to undo that. He did what he should have done. He served his time. He did his prison time. He got out. He's struggling with drugs. He had a firearm he shouldn't have, but he didn't use that firearm. He cooperated with police. throughout the entirety of the investigation. You know, he was in danger. So and obviously his NCA, FTA, all of that's tailing on. It cannot be his criminal history. So with all that in mind, we would ask for the court to consider releasing the trial services. I don't think the state's bond recommendation is particularly unreasonable, but it is unreasonable for him. So we would ask for all the reasons I say release pretrial services, and if not, it's a drug possession with a prohibited possessor. I would ask for a bond of $2,500, give or take.
Thank you. I will order a bond of $7,500 cash for Mr. Gorman, and order that if we'll order that if bond is posted, pretrial services, supervision, and monitoring will be in place. I'm gonna order that Mr. Gorman not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. That he obviously not possess any firearms or weapons, and surrender any weapons, firearms he has to law enforcement within 48 hours of being released. I'll set the preliminary hearing for August 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And that's all I have. So Mr. Gorman, please make sure and keep in contact with your attorney so you can be up to date on the next stage case. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. Your excuse. All right, good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Good evening, Your Honor. Frank Jetty. Frank Elmer Jetty Jr. I'm sorry.
And your birthday?
I live in 0389, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Jetty. It's time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on 3 different matters we're going to go through. The first involves a felony complaint of possession of a dangerous drug alleged to have occurred earlier today. The second involves a felony warrant issued by Judge Sue Canaster at the Pima County Superior Court, and that was for possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. And lastly, a misdemeanor charge of possession of drug paraphernalia and shoplifting from the Tucson City Court with offense dates in January and February of this year. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and in the warrant matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm actually going to take these cases a little bit out of order. But to finish up, the attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. On the first matter, the felony complaint of possession of a dangerous drug, it states motion to dismiss without prejudice. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Good. Any objection from defense?
Nothing.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jetty, the state is electing to dismiss the new felony charge without prejudice, which means they can bring it back at any time if they so choose. But for now, it's going to be going away, and you will not be held on that matter. Secondly, on the warrant, the state's recommendation was for $500. I guess the amount of the warrant plus pretrial services. I'm sorry, I did forget to note. Pretrial services didn't have any other holds or statuses for Mr. Jetty. He was rated a 5 and a 6 on the NCA FTA scale. Does have one prior felony conviction from 2013. And the current pending case. Otherwise, nothing else was noted. As the file indicates that there was no supervening indictment mailed to the defendant. Pretrial services did note that this Jetty failed to abide by his conditions of release on the prior matter, and that he is steps diversion eligible. And I apologize, that was not part of the current recommendation on the warrant. I'm sorry, anything else to add from the state on the warrant matter?
Judge, steps is for pre-indictment matters, so that was likely for meant for the dangerous drug complaint that I, dismissed.
Understood.
Yeah, so I've been the supervisor of steps for the past couple years, specialty courts. He basically entered the program, enrolled, didn't do anything. He was immediately removed, and as soon as he's removed, he picks up that misdemeanor paraphernalia charge that he has a warrant for in January, and hasn't been in contact with pretrial since November of 2024, essentially right when he entered the program. So we're asking the court to impose the warrant amount. I'll be frank, I don't believe his story that he was in a rehab this whole time, because if he was, he wouldn't have incurred that misdemeanor as well as being arrested today for the new charge.
Okay. Thank you. In defense, do you need a minute to talk with your client?
Just 1 second. Okay, Your Honor, he did want to clarify. He did attempt to go into rehab in January this year. His own admission did not succeed. He told the report writer for the pre-trial person that he wanted to get back into rehab. I think that sort of got jumped in the assessment. Having said all of that, I mean, yeah, state has a good point. Ultimately, we have a failure from steps diversion. There is a warrant later issued. He was not checking in with pretrial services. All of that definitely brings against him. This is also someone that is struggling with drugs. These are all not bad offenses. This is all drugs. This all comes down to drugs and misdemeanors associated with drugs. I will, as always, given that these are nonviolent drug offenses, I will give a sincere request for release to pretrial services. But barring that, given his financial situation, given all the struggles, he was doing like $10,000 is well beyond his means. And this is not somebody that's continuous community to set bond on to keep him in custody. The bond needs to be to make sure he shows up to court. That's the state's been concerned with him. I think that can be accomplished with a far lower bond than $2,500.
Geroni, I recommended $500.
Just
500.
We're talking about the warrant matter, and
I thought the warrant. Oh, in that case, I'll defer on the 500. Sorry, Peter. I thought the recommendation sheet had 10,000. So that's what I was going off of.
This would be from the other case, which was dismissed without prejudice. On the warrant matter, I will honor Judge Canaster's request for $500, and I believe that was cash or secured. I'll order pretrial services supervision for Mr. Jetty in case the bond is posted, and that he not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. The arraignment will be set for August 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Superior Court. And on the city court matter, Mr. Jetty, I'm gonna set a separate hearing for you on October the 16th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Frank. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, given that you have a separate felony case. Likewise, going to order, or rather honor the bond requested in that warrant as well of $250. And that'll be cash or secured. And the same conditions will apply. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. I'll also enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf to these charges. And need to advise you that you are presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by the state. You have a right to attend all hearings in your case, to include a trial where, again, you are presumed innocent. However, if you fail to attend any hearings in your case, they may proceed in your absence. You may be charged with new offenses, or you may have a warrant issued for your arrest as you did before. Additionally, if you are found guilty at a bench trial and are unable to be sentenced within 90 days because of your absence, then you may lose the right to appeal your conviction. Do you understand all that, sir?
Yes, sir. One thing I just gonna say is, I mean, I have no way of paying any kind of bond. I'm broke. I have no money. I mean, there's someone to sit in jail for $75.
What's $500 on the first bond, the felony bond, and $250 on the second. It can be cash or secured. And if you need further resource or information about that, the jail can provide it to you.
That's
Oh, no. My apologies. Never mind. My apologies. The hearing is actually going to be a video review on August 22nd. And that'll be at 1:45 in the afternoon. Apologies. Thankfully, the clerk was able to correct my error. All right, sir. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. Your excuse.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yes, we going doing that open Contreras, 12795.
Sir, good evening. It's time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on several matters. We're going to start with the felony interim complaint, which alleges possession of a dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia from earlier today. You have a separate misdemeanor, a warrant from Judge Alexander Ball at the Pima County Justice Court for misdemeanor charges of shoplifting, failing to appear, in possession of drug paraphernalia. A warrant from Judge James Hazel at the Oro Valley Municipal Court related to charges of shoplifting and failing to appear. And another warrant from the Copper Court or Justice Court in Pinal County from Judge, it looks like Ellie Brown, and this relates to charges of disorderly conduct, assault, and failing to appear. To remind you of the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Stay away.
On the felony matter, the state is moving to dismiss without prejudice. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Contreras, the state is moving to dismiss your felony complaint without prejudice, which means they may bring it back at a later date. But for now, it's going away and you will not be held on that matter. On On your warrants, we'll start with the Oro Valley. I'm gonna honor Judge Hazel's bond request of $800. That'll be cash secured. And I'm likewise gonna appoint an attorney to represent you, Mr. Richard Glenn. His contact information will be in the order from tonight's hearing.
Are they holding me?
And I'm gonna set a video review hearing for August 20th at 10:30 in the morning in front of Judge Hazel. If you're released, I'm gonna order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you not go back to the incident location. On the
Just pay your order, I say every time speed stops me.
on the Copper Corridor matter, looks like the judge was requesting a bond of $1,050. I'll set it simply at $1,000 cash is secured. I'm gonna order you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to their place of work or residence. And I'll set a hearing for you on September 2nd at 10:30 in the morning. If you are released, I'm gonna order that you contact the Copper Corridor Justice Court within 48 hours or 2 business days rather. Of your release. And on your Pima County Justice Court matter, I'm going to set a separate hearing for you. No, for Justice Court. I'm going to set a hearing for you in that for August 25th. And that'll be in front of Judge Foster. I'll let them know that you're being held on the 2 other matters. And that'll be at 8:30 in the morning. All right, sir. You got a lot of cases going on. Please make sure and contact your attorneys in the case and attend all hearings. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Thank you very much. You're excused.
Hey, so I'm being held?
Yes.
Why would you say that, Douglas? Hey. Thank you.
Good evening. Will you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Geroni, 9596.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Well, rating 3596.
All right, no, thank you. Excuse me 1 second, need to get to the correct file. All right. All right. Mr. Raymond, good evening. You're being seen here on a charge of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia alleged to have occurred earlier today. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney. Excuse me. And I'm appointed Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. Taking a look at the pretrial services report, do note there is an adult probation hold. Mr. Raymond, state is requesting $1,000 bond plus pretrial services and a steps court evaluation. Anything else to add from the state?
That'd be correct, Judge. In light of the probation hold, we're just asking for essentially a time credit nominal bond, a steps hearing, and the 10-day PH since he'll be held.
Thank you. Defense?
Your Honor, given the probation hold, we will defer on all of them. So whatever, I appreciate the state's setting a nominal, though I think 1,000 is a little more than a nominal. I think it's whatever it feels to defer on.
Is your client interested in participating in the steps program?
Oh, let me verify.
Go ahead.
And Jeremy, just so you know, he doesn't have to waive anything. Typically, there would be a PH waiver if he was released, but it's going to be the standard PH date.
Gotcha. He would like to do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Mr. Raymond, I'm going to, given the adult probation hold, you're not going to be released. So I'm going to impose $1,000 bond, cash or secured, so that you can receive time credit if that's appropriate. If you do post a bond and are otherwise released, I'm going to order that you submit to the supervision and monitoring of pretrial services, and that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. We'll set a steps court hearing for you for August 25th at 9 a.m. That hearing is very important, sir, because if you are successfully accepted and complete that program, you could have your case dismissed without having to face the possibility of taking a plea or going to trial. Should that hearing be unsuccessful for whatever reason, I'll likewise set a preliminary hearing for the same day at 1:30 in the afternoon. So hopefully, sir, the steps court goes well for you, but please keep in touch with your attorney so you can be ready for that hearing and for any that follow, okay? And that's all I have for you. Thank you. You're excused.
Lopez?
Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yeah, it's Leandro Miguel Lopez, May 14, 1999.
Mr. Lopez, being seen here tonight on a charge of possession of a narcotic drug. Remind you to have the right to remain silent. Here, the state is moving to dismiss your case without prejudice. Is that correct, Mr. Goodman?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Pence, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Leandro, the state is moving to dismiss your case. I'm going to grant that motion. That dismissal will be without prejudice, so it could be brought back if they elect to do so. But for now, you're going to be released later this evening. And that's all I have for you. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Aldo Antonio Rodriguez Melendez,
And what's your date of birth?
23, 2001.
Thank you, Mr. Melendez. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on two different matters. The first involves a felony complaint alleging one count of organized retail theft from earlier today. And the second involves a, excuse me, a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Jeffrey Close of the Tucson City Court. And that relates to charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and failing to appear. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and in your felony case, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions, please speak with him before saying anything out loud. Taking a look at the pretrial services report for Mr. Melendez. Didn't note any other cases or hold statuses. He was rated a 4 and a 6 on the NCAA FTA scales. Third-party verification status communities couldn't be verified. Doesn't appear that he has any prior felony criminal history or misdemeanor history that the pretrial services was able to note. State's recommendation is $1,000 bond plus pretrial services. And anything to add from the state?
Your Honor, he actually does have a substantial misdemeanor history. I just ran his name earlier on public access. It's about a full page worth of cases between South Tucson and Tucson City Court. I would just note that the real issue here is an ability to appear. He's maxed out on the FTA scale. He's already in warrant status from a case about a month ago. And the state, again, has some serious concerns about his ability to actually show up, given that he's got at least more than 2 failures to appear, according to pretrial services, which would be corroborated by the substantial history noted on public access.
And I'm sorry, the pretrial services only noted felony criminal history, so I misspoke there. Thank you. Defense?
Judge, I'll note that he has already been pointed out over and over, has no felony criminal history whatsoever. And also the underlying circumstances in this case are, I mean, what would have been a misdemeanor shoplift 5 years ago, that for some reason now we've all decided is worth spending the resources to prosecute as a felony. We're talking less than $200 worth of merchandise involved. This is totally the crime of the century. His failure to appear history is what it is. All he figures about, show up to court. But given the complete non-violent nature of this, given the lack of felony history, given the resources of pretrial services are still ultimately cheaper than keeping him in custody, best bet to at least consider released pretrial services.
Given the history of failing to appear, I guess particularly with the other one that's in front of me, I do agree a bond is appropriate. I will order $1,000 bond, cash or secured with pretrial services supervision. I'm going to order that Mr. Melendez not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and then he not return to where this took place or allegedly took place, or have any contact with any alleged victims. The preliminary hearing will be set out to August 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. On the city court matter. I'm going to set a hearing for October 16th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hale. Same conditions will apply. Possess, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. I will appoint the city public defender's office based on the felony case. And that's it. Sir, you're not going to be released unless you're able to post a bond. If you do post a bond, please make sure and contact pretrial services immediately, as well as your attorneys, and stay in touch with them throughout the pendency of your case. Otherwise, you could have a warrant issued for your arrest and end up right back in custody. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused. And I believe that's all for the evening, correct?
Should be a correct, Judge. We made it.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, very much for your patience and your efforts. With that, have a nice weekend and good night.
Good weekend. See you, Jeremy.
Later, man.
Hey, before 10.